Alright, so we are doing a reschedule for the live stream today for Patreon. It's a few minutes before the official start time, so we're going to work on Tupac's changes. But before we do that, I'm just going to play, maybe improvise a little bit before we have the others join. So good, so good. Something like that could be so dope. So we can do something like, oh, it's already a full 6 minutes, darn it. Alright, let's lift that and let's just come back. We don't have anything that we need here. The thing takes forever to delete, that's pretty interesting. Something like this. Oh, we got to be on this one. Huh. Okay. Dope. Alright, let's try to get this with this. See, I messed up already, and now yeah. Okay. I wonder if anyone's joining today. Because if not, then I'm just going to start practicing right now. Let me see if anyone is on here. I'll just do a quick reminder. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Even though the title for this YouTube video is something different, I'm not really gonna teach it just yet if no one's here. We'll kind of give people like a 10-minute grace period or so. Um, there's Obina right there, my guy. Doom, 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 doom. Yo, yo. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
You hear me? Kevin, my man, what's going on?
What up? What up? You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, and I see the keyboard looking nice too.
Nice and crispy, man. Got the red keyboard on deck right here, man. You know.
Switched it up a little bit. Okay. The angle
Well,
is nice too.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. A lot of little updates since our last session. You were able to join. What's been the latest? I know you had a lot of life developments and things kind of going on. The birthday and wedding. Wedding happened already, right?
No, it's this Saturday. I've been running around crazy today. Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
actually just left the mall to pick up the rest of like the suits. We had a last minute adjustments. My brother
Yeah.
had to change this tux a little bit, but it's all good now. So it's cool, man. Life is good. I'm feeling blessed, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Is it like a traditional wedding? What kind are you guys having?
Doing both. We're gonna do the regular ceremony. Then later at night, we got the fits shipped from Nigeria. Got everybody measured. Got like 20
Wow.
fits, mom, dad, uncles, everybody, bridesmaid, groomsmen. We're gonna change later on in the reception. So it's gonna be a
That's
good
dope.
time.
So the IG story is about to be lit this
Oh
weekend,
yeah,
huh?
it's gonna be very lit, very lit.
Hey, that's what's up. And real quick, you guys met several weeks ago, months ago, however long it was. Y'all seen each other before, I think.
Yeah, of course, of
All
course.
right, bet.
What's
Just
going
making
on,
sure.
man? How are
Just
you?
making sure.
What up?
What's good, man? Long
Oh,
time
hold
no
on,
see,
hold on,
man.
hold on. I gotta yes, facts. I gotta change this the audio situation. Yeah, man. Everything's been good. How are you been? I'm hearing that you getting married.
No. My brother's getting married. I'm
I was
best man.
about to say, I'm like, that's crazy. Everybody getting married and having babies. I'm
Too
like,
early
good
for me.
lord.
Not yet. Not yet. One day.
How you had?
Hey man, same boat, same boat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think this is the first time on the Patreon that like everyone's not wearing a hat. So just gonna throw that out there.
Special, yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever seen your your hair before, X, ever. So
Me?
that's actually very, yeah, because you always got the X hat or some. You always got a hat on for sure.
Not in the page. I don't. Well, you haven't been in the Patreon. I be picking my hair in the Patreon in the
Oh, see
Henny joint.
that's news to me right there. And Henny's okay, yeah. See, I don't even recall it, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah. No, I got hair, man. I do have
uh,
hair.
now
I'm
now
not.
now we
I'm.
know now we know for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm not hiding. Yeah. No, I have hair. I need a cut, so I'm looking crazy. But yeah, we out here.
Tell me about the event that you went to this yesterday.
Oh, dude, it was sick.
Mm. Tell
So
us
it's
about
just like,
yeah.
yeah, it was like so it's like the Recording Academy, which is like, they're the people that deal with the Grammys.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I learned how to get involved with it and be a part of it because when you're a part of it, you get to go to these type of events.
Hmm.
You get to vote on the Grammys, and nominations and stuff like that.
Oh,
Just being
okay.
a part of it, like you become
Yeah.
a board member, and they have, and then like say if I was in New York and they were having an event, then it's like I can go to the event because I'm a member.
Yeah. So
You
you
know,
are
it's
a member being affiliated with Henny. Is that how that works? Or is that
no.
correct? Oh,
You'd
about
have
to
to
say,
you have to apply. I got in because of any, but
gotcha. Sure,
yeah,
sure. Okay.
you have to like apply to like be a part of it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you got to have like 12 songs released,
Oh,
um, or something that you produce, like commercial work. Like you got to have like at least
okay.
12, and then you have to have a recommendation from a member and some industry people
Hmm. Okay.
for it. So I'm like, dang, that's kind of crazy. If I didn't have those connections, I couldn't be in it. I'm like, dang, that's kind of crazy.
Word.
But yeah, no, it was dope. So it was, instead of like well-known artists coming and performing, they let like members perform.
Mm-hmm. The
So
dude with the
that
phone I saw on the story of that joint. You know what's so cool about that? I didn't even. There was like two back-to-back stories, Obina. So I was looking at X's stories yesterday, and there's a dude on stage playing the trombone to X. Remind me what song it was?
Carl Thomas, I wish.
Yeah. Dun,
Um
dun.
and I wish I never met her. at all,
So
even though that joint.
my guy is on stage playing, and hit the body language of him when he was on stage, right? Not stiff, but just, just playing, just like normal. Then the next story, he's off stage in the middle, and he just, his whole body language changed because like the energy in the room, everyone's like dancing with him, and he's like some. It was just mad cool to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure that first one was when he first started, and then he got mad relaxed and just like
Yeah.
off.
Well, low key, like so Henny got there at 6. Henny said bro got there at 6:10, and he was in there practicing. I got there like 6:20. Um, and he was one of the third to last people to go.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and people were leaving by the time he was getting on stage, but like, bruh, like he turned that. I feel sorry for everyone that missed it.
Yeah.
He turned that shit up. Like he went crazy, bruh. And I think he had the most songs. I think he intentionally went later because he performed the most. Like mainly people perform like 1 or 2 songs.
Uh-huh.
Like he did that Carl Thomas I Wish. Then he went into the Tony Braxton, and then I think he played 2 Usher songs. He
Oh
played
wow.
"You Remind Me That You Remind Me of a
Yeah.
Girl That I." Yeah, he produced. He did. No, he didn't produce it. He did that one. I think he may have did one more.
Dang.
Yeah, he
That's,
went crazy. He got a whole album. I was listening to it this morning. Like
mm,
he got a whole album of covers, and
wow.
he sings. He plays piano.
Dang.
Plays
Super talented.
trombone. Yeah, do cold with it. He's
I'm gonna have
ridiculous.
to send me. I'll text you to send me, but I'm gonna link. I know you tagged him, and I actually looked at his page quickly, but I don't remember if I hit the follow button or not. I had every intention to, but I definitely want to check his stuff out. But look, we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm gonna We all know the song Tupac Changes. I'm gonna pull up the chord progression to this song, and actually all the chords to the song actually are all 3-note chords. And what we're gonna do is we're going to play it, but I'm gonna not teach it first. I'm gonna like allow you guys to like leverage what we've learned thus far. Obviously, I'm here if you have questions. And I want to also not just have the chords played, but also the like the actual song itself. Like those notes are not going to be in the lead sheet, of course, which I'm going to pull up right now. But I want to kind of start with just the chords, and just kind of hear them. And I don't know if I'm going to have you guys go on mute or off mute. I'm not exactly sure yet, because I like to hear you guys as you're kind of practicing and learning this. So maybe we'll start with you guys staying off mute. If it gets too distracting, for both of you guys hearing each other or whatever, you could let me know, and then have you guys muted or whatever. But these are the chords here. We're starting with "I See No Changes," and we're going all the way to Snatch, I think.
You know what's interesting? This is the only song which, growing up, that I actually learned how to play before. But
Oh, fire. Okay.
but I didn't know any music there. I literally just watched YouTube and learned the fingering for like months.
Yeah. Wait, so can you play what you know? Well, you haven't you learned it a long time ago.
This is childhood. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is wow, that's really dope though. Okay, all right, cool, cool, cool. So this will be it'll be cool to see the muscle memory. And I'm kind of encouraging you guys too to like, because we all know the song, I'm encouraging you to use the inversions for what the song actually sounds like, based on your knowledge of it. So have at it. I'm gonna be sitting here watching you guys.
Okay, real quick.
And
You know what's crazy?
yep.
I should probably play this song because I have no idea what song this is.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm assuming a lot right now. Yeah. Well, actually, you have yours set up where you could just YouTube it real quick or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, do
yeah.
that.
Like
Perfect.
like I don't listen to like any Tupac like that. Like
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So let's play it, and I'm almost
I'm
positive.
pretty sure. I don't know what song it is, to be honest. The song that's coming into my head is just like that's just the way it is, but I know that's not it.
That's the one.
That is it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the
Okay,
one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun, dun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
okay.
I was gonna say, man,
So
because I know you know your music, even if you don't
yeah,
listen
but
to.
I don't listen to Tupac though, or Biggie for real.
I got you. Okay, okay. That's kind of interesting. We'll have to talk about that, but okay. It's very specific that you don't listen to those two, but I can't, you know.
Yeah, but is this right?
Yeah. Dun,
Okay.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna do
We
this for 10 minutes. Oh, you were gonna say something. Go ahead first.
no,
What
no,
you
no.
got?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. 10 minutes, and I want to. Yeah, let's leave yourselves off mute so I can just hear
You want
for
to leave
now.
it off mute?
Yeah, so I can hear you guys like
Struggle.
figuring it out. Like I said, if it gets distracting for you, maybe even you could take your headphones off, or I don't know, like whatever you need to do. I just want to hear it for the first couple minutes. But if it gets
We
distracting,
got
let
it.
me know, and then y'all can mute each other or whatever.
All right.
All
Oh, we
right.
can mute each other.
Well,
That
you
would be
can mute
crazy.
yourself, I guess, or request the person, the other. You know what I'm trying to say, dude. Come on, man. All right.
I do. I do. I do.
Good, good, good.
See, he going crazy already.
I can't even hear him.
Really? I
Nah.
heard that.
See,
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say. I heard, and I heard the chord immediately. I was like, dang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, nah. I'm not gonna distract you guys.
well, can you hear me though? Is it coming through?
Well, play something again, Obina.
I just did. I know it is. I got to turn on for live music or something
Oh,
like.
like the enable original
Yeah,
sound.
that's what I had to do.
Yeah, I heard that.
That was me. That
That's
was me.
you. All right,
Yeah. Well, I'll
Obina.
mute it until he's until.
Okay, bet, bet.
There it is. Live music. There we go. You hear that?
Playing. I can't hear it. You hear it though on your end.
Hold on.
Obina, you hear it on you. You hear it. You hear it on your end.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it's loud. Let me see.
Huh, okay.
That's interesting. Why is it
Oh
up?
wait, what kind of device are you on?
It's my laptop.
Yeah, yeah. On the top left,
Mm-hmm.
do you have that enable? Like you have to turn that setting on, and then you have to actually enable it once it like shows up on the top left. Is there like an area that says like, no? There we go. I know. Oh, because now I know why. Now I have a, we have a no. And that, yeah, which is weird because I guess you don't have headphones on. That's probably why. Without headphones, we're gonna hear the echo. So I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna mute myself and just listen just for now. Nah, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna mute for like the next 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be not muted. Ew, why do I hear myself? quick question. The D suspended 4, that means is it D major or D minor?
My bad. I had myself muted for
He's
the
he Yeah.
obvious reasons, right? What we said, but to answer, so this is called Ultimate Tabs, Obina. So yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. It's a great app. And the D sus4, basically, the third is just 7.5 steps up from your D major. So you got your D major, and that creates the D sus4.
So is it minor or major?
Neither. It's a sus chord. It's just so instead of it being major, it's a suspended chord.
Okay,
And
so man, I do that all the see that's what I was trying to explain last week.
mhm.
So I played a normal D major scale, and I went here, and then I moved my 5
Mhm.
down to the 4 instead of moving my
Oh,
3 to the 4.
okay.
I always want to go down versus
So let's talk about what you just did there before. I mean, Obina, feel free to continue, but or listen in, whatever. Word. So let's take a look at this. So let's figure out if we know what chord this is. So you just basically said instead of moving your F sharp to a G to create this D sus4, you moved your A to the G. I think. Oh no. Well, is that what you said? Yeah. You went like this here. So let's kind of explore this for a second and see. To me, right off the bat, I'm expecting this to be a 7 chord where one of either the third or the fifth is omitted. Recall back when we talk about 7 chords, if we omit the third, for example, and move the root an octave higher, we have a kind of similar shape, don't we, for C major 7. And that's a way that we can play a C major 7 without using all 3 notes, and it is technically a C major 7. So that's a similar kind of look, right, where 2 notes are right up against each other, and then the last note is a normal distance away, let's call it. So that's what I'm expecting here, but let's see. So if I take this G and move it an octave lower, we have this, and I'm already starting to see what I expect here, which this looks exactly as what I thought it was, which is a G major 7 with the third omitted, right? Does that make sense? No? So basically we were trying to figure out what chord this is, which is a D, F sharp, and G. So these 3 notes here. And what I was saying is that this is kind of, let me actually turn this off for a second. And so what I'm saying here is that this is kind of a shape that I'm familiar with regards to 7 chords, because we know that 7 chords, major 7 chords in particular, have 2 notes that are right next to each other. Right? So like C and B are the 1 and the 7 of a C major 7. So if I take the C and move it an octave up, we get this. If I omit the third, we get this. And this shape of a normal distance, I'm saying normal just like generalizing the term, but a third away coupled with the right next to each other, this is a shape that I'm used to seeing for major 7 chords. But in this case, very similar. If we just take one of these notes and just sort of rearrange it, take the G, move it over here, this is what you were just playing. And we know that we can take the third or the fifth out of a 7 chord, and it still is technically that chord, right? So G major 7 looks like this, but you can play it with the third omitted or with the fifth omitted. So with the third omitted is this, and then take that and move it an octave higher, you get what you started with. So that's all that is. That's just a little way to kind of, yeah, get comfortable with quickly putting together major 7 chords. All right, let me get the screen share going again. Okay, here we go. That's right. Yep. Capital letter is going to be an. Mm-hmm. Did you skip the D sus 4? Maybe is that block? Gotcha. Gotcha. Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, my bad, bro. Hey, man, it be like that sometimes.
You know what I'm going to say? Let's for now, without the headphone, keep just so we can keep everyone unmuted. Let's have you turn original sound off just for now until we get to the point where I want to hear you play. Just so we can all talk as needed. You know what I'm saying, without the echo.
Sounds good.
Cool. But keep yourself unmuted though, being so I can hear
Yeah.
your thought process.
Yeah.
Just turn the thing off.
I'm gonna need to learn how to form. Like I followed your explanation to get to the notes you did, but I need to learn how to actually form these suspended chords.
Gotcha. How to form it, meaning. So, what question do you have on how to put it
Like
together?
how do you get to a D sus 4? Like what is the like? I
So
know you
D.
started from major 7th. Was that how you usually start?
So a D sus 4 is simply going to be a D major triad, but you're going to move the third up a half step. So instead of this, you get this.
That's better. Got you. The third up a half step. Got you. So I see. Perfect.
Yep, yep. let's go for about 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna jump in. I want to hear where you guys are, and then kind of lend some tips and some advice on kind of how to use these inversions to get it sounding the way the actual song.
Fingering, that's interesting, from switching from like a D sus4 to the C sus2.
Indeed it is. Yes. So that that jump is there's no way really around it, right? You're absolutely right, because if you look at the D sus4, if you look at a D sus4, which is this, and a C sus2, so yeah, the way that the song is, it actually is the jump. So it's this to that, and it's just like one of those ones that's not as easy to do, for sure, compared to other ones that we've worked on. But yeah, it's a good pickup.
Can you play it again? Can you jump between the two? I was trying to get
yeah. So we're here, and what I'm doing, I'm playing. Let me see. So I'm doing the D sus4. I'm doing 1 2 3. Okay, 1 2 3 fingers, and then I'm using 1 2 5 for the jump.
Wow.
That
works.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any other way that. Not really, because right here, that's a 3 2. Yeah, I would say that 1 2 3, and then 1 2 5. All right, so let me jump in here. I want to kind of talk this through a little bit. So this first chord of an A minor 7. So when I hear the song, when we play A minor, right, we can play it like this, which is root position, but the song certainly is not played in root position. It's played in this position, which is, let's kind of test you guys here, E, A, and C. So playing it in that order, E, A, C. Obina, what inversion for A minor would this be if I play the E first and then A and then C?
A minor is A, C, and F, isn't it?
A, C, and E.
Oh, this would be a third inversion.
So not third, because there's only 3 notes. You can only go up to
second inversion.
Second, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the second inversion. So this is what I would play here. And again, we're just starting with just the chords, so let's not worry about the articulations. We'll add that in after. But from here, so X, if we're playing this E, A, and C, and then we want to go to E minor, what would be the...
Wait, what? Mm-hmm. What was the first chord? The first chord is A minor, right?
A minor, uh-huh.
And y'all play it with E?
Yeah.
That's not what I was doing.
How were you playing it?
I was playing it in root.
Oh, yeah, so that's and so, yes, even so, right? So like
that's what I was doing.
That's actually really good. Yeah, and that's the chord progression right there for sure. I was kind of saying that first chord in the song is played with this in this inversion in this sort of fingering. But let me hear what you did one more time. You played starting with root,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you picked that up super fast. So you all right? So play yours again. So A minor and then E minor.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that I don't know that part. And then
All right, so you
yeah.
did. You skipped the D sus4, or you went to
No,
the.
no, 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 no. I just made the jump. So I'm
Oh,
playing A major, A, so the A minor to the whatever the next chord is,
yep.
and then the D sus is that.
Okay, you're playing the D sus in root as well,
So okay, so
or you're not. It doesn't.
so A minor's in root.
Yep.
The next chord, whatever that is, I'm playing G, B,
Yep.
and then E.
Yep.
And then when I go to the D sus,
Yep.
I'm playing. Hold on, what'd you do? No, what was it? It was that. Yeah, yeah. I'm playing the G, A, and then the D with my 5.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was just an easier jump. So and then done and then make that jump. That's a big jump though, from going here and then lifting my whole hand and literally just starting on C and then playing C, D, and the G for the C sus2.
Yeah. Good. 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 And that what's interesting here too, right, is that even though we're talking about different ways of playing this first part, it doesn't make any difference what inversion for D sus4 and C sus2 that you're playing. Whether like when I was playing them, I'm playing them in root, or you're playing them. I think you. What were you doing? You're doing it in first inversion, right? It's still just because of the configuration of the notes. It's still going to be a jump or tricky with the fingering. That just takes a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
But that's good. And I think also that we should probably get in the habit of just like especially I mean just basically playing it in any inversion, like in any way, as long as the chords are right, which
Yeah.
they are. So that was good. Obina, let me hear yours so far for the first few chords. No, no, all good. We don't.
Hey, bro, I was doing all that shit by ear, bro.
Fire. Fire. Good. All right. So, so your thing again for me, the enable original sound. So that was excellent, both of you guys. Like that's actually very inspiring for me to see that y'all both like got it like that. So that's awesome. All right, so we're at C sus2. So now we're going to three more chords of G major, D, and then C. So in my case, I'm playing it. I'll let you guys kind of figure out, but we're going here, G, D, and then C. Yeah, so in whatever inversions make sense for your fingering.
All right, so we're starting at the G.
Yeah, and I would technically start at the C sus2 since we want to be able to get that transition proper. So we're gonna start with the C sus2 into G, and then D, and then C.
All right.
What's the version of G to keep the G at the pinky since you're coming from the C sus2?
say, I'm like, what the hell is that? That's the Tyler shit. I feel you.
Yes, sir. You know that, man. I was trying to
Yeah.
play it super low, but I guess it wasn't low enough.
I mean,
For me,
them chords is too pretty. Like when I heard
It
dun
was low.
dun
We just
dun
still heard
dun
it.
dun dun, I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's a really good. Maybe at the end of it, maybe at, let's see, 45 after, we'll transition to this and we'll go like the other direction, which is like playing. Yeah, you guys identifying the chords that I'm playing, and then playing them yourself, rather than having the chords on the screen, so we can kind of see if you guys could identify chords from the notes. That'll be good. So we'll go like 5 more minutes here, and then we'll transition to that.
Mm, I realize it's much easier to see inversions when you're just doing the triads.
Hmm. Let's see. Yeah. Well, less notes, so definitely just less things going on. For sure. But I think you'll be able, like, once you get even more comfortable with 7 chords, with these 4 note chords, and you're playing a lot of different types and a lot of different notes, you'll start seeing them the same way that you're seeing these right now.
Okay.
I do know what you mean by that. All right, let's take a quick brain break, as I call it with my students, because you talk about inversions. Both of you got, well, Obina just mentioned it, and I want to kind of see where you guys are with something like this. So if we look at like C major triad, and we just do this simple exercise, because I know X and I have had some conversations just about what can you kind of do, both of you, everyone who live streaming on YouTube, whoever's watching there, but what can be done sort of as like practice and warm-ups and just things to kind of strengthen your fingering technique and stuff like that. And one thing that's definitely a good idea is picking a chord, and we start with triads, but picking a triad and then going from root to first inversion to second inversion and doing it in a tempo that makes sense for you. Kind of like this, right? So we're at C, something like that. So let's actually have you do that. And the reason that it's not as easy as it might appear is because, I don't know if it appears easy or not, if I'm making an assumption, but the idea with inversions is because the distance is changing between notes the moment you introduce an inversion, it oftentimes, probably all the time, requires you to change your fingering. So I'm using 1 3 5, 1 2 5, 1 3 5 with my right hand. And it's going to be something different with the left hand as we do that. So let's start with Obina, and whatever tempo makes sense, but as long as it's in rhythm. I don't care how fast or how
Wait,
slow.
can you explain that one more time? I was not listening. I was trying to figure out the 2 chords.
The rest of this, nah,
Or,
you're good.
yeah, just because I was just like, because I was just trying to do that, and I was trying to like play the G and then try to play the D, but I don't know if that's it. But whatever. Anyway, explain what you said again.
That was it, and that's sounding good because you're. That's like a yeah, like a little movement with both fingers, right? Your
Yeah.
1 is going down 2 half steps. Your 5 is going down 1 half step. Or maybe you're changing your 5 to a 4, like I'm doing.
No, I think I'm using the 5.
I would use the 4.
I can do it.
Right? Tell me, is that not as comfortable using your 4 on the black key? That's already there.
Yeah, I can. I can. I just it's because I was already using my pinky for the last note. So I just moved the whole thing instead of being like that and then switching to.
I got you.
Because like the thing is like with the C sus, I'm not using my 4. I was using my 5. I can use my 4, but I was using my 5.
I got you.
If I use my 4, then it's easier for me to. I was using my 5 because like it was already there and I was just moving it. I didn't have to move it. You know, when I went from the C sus to the G major, I didn't have to move my G because I'm playing it in second inversion. And then
I see what you mean. Yeah.
And then when I switched to D, then all I had to switch was my 1 and my 5. Because the middle note of D stayed the same. So all I had to do was move the G to the that's in the Mo to the E to the anyways. I just had to move my G to the F sharp and then and then move my B to the A and leave the D the same.
So yeah, no, I got completely what you mean. I think the important thing that I'll mention, I know I've probably mentioned it before, but I'll sort of reiterate, is whatever is comfortable for you for the fingering. I'm learning a Beethoven song, right? And I was getting some help on a part of the song that goes. Well, actually, I played the wrong last note, but I was getting some help with that part, right? I was like, okay, what fingering makes sense? Because we're playing this diminished chord. Well, so we're playing this diminished chord, right? And we're just running down. We're going like 1, 5, 3, 7, and we're going down like 2 octaves. And I was like, all right, that's kind of tricky to do. So I was getting some assistance from my instructor, and she's showing me. She's like, yeah, you probably want to do this and do that. I'm like, okay. So I'm writing the numbers down on my paper for the fingers, and then she was like, yeah, some people play this part with just 2 fingers, your 4 and your 2. And she said, yeah, for her, that's not comfortable for her to do that at all. So she never does that. Then I go home and start practicing and realize that I think I left my paper in the car or something like that. So I didn't have, or I was at a different studio, so I didn't have my paper in front of me. I'm like, dang, I forgot the fingering. I was like, let me just try this 4-2 thing out. Doon, 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 doon. And I practiced just a little bit with it. I was like, oh, this is infinitely more easy and comfortable. And the reason for me is because now in that particular instance, and I think this is similar to what you just described, X, it's like I know that I'm only just using those 2 fingers, so I don't have to think about what finger to use. I just have to think about what note I'm actually playing, and I know what notes to play. So in your case there, when you're talking about like if you're already playing this, and you're again even for me as I try to do it, and I'm like, hell no, like I'm not putting my pinky up there. It's like no way for me. But in your case, if that's more comfortable and it just makes more sense, 1000% like do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I should also say too that song. Oh, actually, I'll let you finish first because I had one more like little sentiment. What were you gonna say, X?
Oh no! I didn't say nothing. I was just saying. Yeah. I wasn't saying that.
Gotcha. Yeah. When Alicia Keys performed Moonlight Sonata at Kobe's tribute at Staples Center, I don't know if you guys seen that or not. Years ago when Kobe passed away, and I was incredibly moved by that. At that time, I didn't know how to play that song, but I know that Kobe, as a non-musician, he learned how to play that song. I think the story goes when he was at a hotel or something, and there was a grand piano there, and his wife and him both really liked that song, and he was traveling or something, so she wasn't around, so he just like learned it that trip or whatever the case is. But I was just so moved by that, and I was like, dang, I want to be able to do that at some point. And I was just thinking like, I don't know, like, was she nervous in that moment to be able to be playing like piano, this grand piano in front of like so many people in this type of moment? And I don't know the answer to that question, but it's just a really powerful piece, and now I'm like super excited that I know how to play it, and I'm like fine tuning it now. You know what I'm saying? I got all the notes down, but just figuring out the making it go from like a 8.5 to like, you know, much better. I was like up mad late last night. But with regards to this, I want to transition. Well, actually, I want to answer X's question. The question, or the remind him what I was saying for practice for you guys. You don't have to actually do it right now because I do want to go into that other part of today's lesson. But I was basically saying that it's a great idea to start with any 3-note triad. Maybe you start with some white, you know, key, C, regular, you know, white keys, and then you start with, or natural keys. Then you start with some sharps. But basically playing the root, first inversion and second inversion, and then maybe even back to root. That type of thing. So practicing that with both hands, I should also say, very important, because we want to be able to go from and noticing that it's not the same exact fingering, because the hands are like mirror images, of course, right? So the spacing is going to be the opposite when you're doing with both hands. So incorporate that into your practice, basically, is what I'd love for you guys to kind of do. And then for the last few minutes here, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's kind of go through these chords for. So we'll start with that, and I'm going to play the chord. I'm going to name the keys in case, I know you guys can see them, but I don't know how large it is on whatever screens you guys are on. So I'm going to name the keys, and I'm going to go back and forth between both of you, and you're going to tell me to the best of your ability what chord that is. All right, so we're starting with X. So this first chord is this chord. I'm playing a B flat, D flat, F, and an A flat.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. No.
I got a question, X. I want to know exactly what your process is. I hear the scale. I hear the scales. What's your when I play this chord, what's your process of playing that scale in order to figure the chord out?
I'm going, so I go based off kind of like the first note that's being played. And then I just like try to find like the scale and see if like the notes kind of match.
The notes.
Well, so it's just like, so you said you're playing B flat, D flat, an F, and then an A flat, right? So I'm just looking at that and I'm like, okay, cool. If I start on B flat and I just try to find like, see if I can play a major or minor scale, like if it makes sense. So I'm like, okay, cool. There's the first note. So this B flat, there's the D flat, there's this is just E flat, and then there's F, and then G flat, A flat, B flat. So I would assume that's a B flat minor.
Minor what?
Oh, 7. Sorry.
Okay, so you got the chord right. I'm interested in asking that question just because certainly there's multiple ways for us to arrive at determining a chord like this. What if I would have what if I took out the 7 for a second and just played this? I'm more interested in you guys all being able to determine that this that I'm playing right here, without doing anything else, just kind of looking at it and just getting comfortable with the idea of like, okay, well, what chord is this? Well, we know that the B and the B flat are the special triads, right, where they each have 2 of the other type of keys in them, right? So the majors of those, I should say. So I know that like a B flat major is this. I know that a B flat minor is this, and I also know that a minor 7 is 2 half steps lower than the root, which is this note, which indeed is the A flat that I was playing. So when I'm playing these chords, unless of course if we start playing ones with that are inverted, then it gets obviously a little bit more tricky. But I think, well, some of them might be, and we'll explore it in a second. But in this first case here, when the spacing appears to be normal, like there's no notes that are normal, there's no notes that are right next to each other, then we can expect it to be a major 7, a minor 7, or a dominant 7. And that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece is basically kind of, and this is what I'm gonna kind of say, like, if we hear this chord and you're not even looking, you're like just listening to it, and I tell you guys, okay, I'm playing 4 notes right now, and I'm starting on B flat. What chord do you think it is? And I play it for you. Maybe eventually you hear this and you say, oh, that's a minor 7 chord. Alternatively, what? This is a major 7. And I like what X said too. X, a while ago, I think you talked about, we were talking about like minor and major triads. And we were saying how minors typically are like, sadder chords, and majors are happier with the triads. But for the 7 chords, it's different. Because that doesn't sound necessarily sad. That just sounds like jazzy. But that is a minor 7.
Yeah, it sounds pretty as hell.
Right. And it sounds to me nicer than the major 7.
It sounds way nicer than the major.
Way nice. Yeah, I agree. And that's cool stuff to like kind of explore. But yeah, so that's just the way that I guess another way that I want you to think about it when we're talking about chords, so that you can arrive at it faster, right? Quite frankly, you can arrive at it faster.
I would love that, because like I always go based off of the like trying to figure out what scale it is.
Yeah.
Like finding the scale, but it's just like what you're saying. Where I get in trouble, it's just like if it's a root, if it's an inverted chord,
exactly.
And, you know what I'm saying? Then like we start on like, say if you would have did the same thing and start like played the same. Let me see. Like if you would have did the same thing and just moved the B flat up, and told me what chord that was, I would have started on this on the lowest note, which is
Gotcha.
the D flat, and I would have been sitting here like,
gotcha.
And then I would have been like, and I'd be like, oh, that's probably like a D flat major, even though it's not.
I got you. And in that case, I need you to be able to like look at this and be like, wait a second. When we have the moment we introduce an inversion, and we see notes that are either right next to each other or there's only one note between them, that's your indication, especially with seven chords, that's your indication that we have an inversion. So what I mean by that is, like in this case, you played this as like the inversion, first inversion. And so there's no like, root chords, triads that are going to have this type of situation going on, right? Unless if we're talking about, augmented chord or something different out of the norm, right? Out of the norm. But good. Okay. So to that point, as a matter of fact, we're going to go to Obina. So the first chord is this. This is the next chord. Obina, you get the more challenging one. You ready for this? All right, a little more challenging out here. All right. So this is B flat, D flat, E flat, and G. And just
inverted because there's some.
There you go. I was
about to say the same thing.
Next to each other, so that's.
Yep.
See, I don't think his is as hard, because you just laid down the whole foundation for it.
All right, well then put it in the chat. Then both of you guys as a private message.
No. He got it, but I'm just saying, like when I seen it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is an inversion now. But
inverted, right? Yep. But now, what inversion is it? Well, both of you do it, but Obina, I want you to give me the answer first.
What verse is it? So let me outline your process again. You're listening for whether it's a major or minor first.
Ye- Yes, but that takes a little bit more time and a little bit more experience to be able to hear it and be like, oh, is that a major or minor? But yes, that's something you can start with.
You can tell the difference when it's not inverted because you could just move the third or move the seventh and just play the major, the minor, so you can hear both of them. But once inverted, you can't
Hmm.
really do
Well,
that.
so good point, actually. And
That's what I mean.
so when it is inverted, like we identified this to be the case, now we start thinking about like the numbers, and we think about if this is inverted, doesn't this have to be the one of the chord? Why? Because the I'm trying to think of how best to explain it. How do I know that this right here is the one? Because when you create the inversion, the spot where the notes are next to each other is the spot that needs to be separated to create it, to put it back into root. So I can either take these two and move them up, or these two and move them down. I'm going to take these two and move them up. So you see what I'm saying, right? Like it's not a matter of taking this note and moving it, because we're trying to get rid of this situation of being super close to each other. So if we take these two,
Oh, because it's a seventh chord. Is that why you're trying to move two and not just one?
wait, ask the question again.
Why are you trying to? Because you're trying to move it back to the root position, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're moving two notes and not one. Why
Oh,
are you choosing to move two notes instead of one
oh,
note?
gotcha. Good. Yeah. So two notes instead of one, because of the fact that I'm going to use two fingers here. We have these two and we have these two. So if you move one note, the only note that I can move right now to kind of move this into a different inversion would be the lowest or the highest note. And if I move this up, I'm still going to have a situation with these two together. If I move this down, I'm still going to have a situation with these two together. So I need to move two to get rid of that, thusly creating what? This. And this is what chord?
Flat major,
Say once more.
E flat. Oh, that's
E flat. E flat is right, and E flat major triad. But what about this?
Can I help? Can I help? Can I help?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is it E flat major like 6?
No.
Damn it.
Good. Yes, though.
Wait,
This would
because
be an E
isn't
flat major 6.
what is it?
This would be an E flat major 6. This is that special case when we have the major triad and
A diminished?
minor 7, which means not diminished.
Dominant.
Starts with a D.
Oh,
Dominant.
dominant.
Dominant. So that is what that is.
Maybe I missed the note. Let me mute myself again.
That's the second chord, which is, say it again, Obina. What chord is this, and which inversion?
That's the you said E flat E flat dominant.
E flat dominant 7,
Seventh, yeah, it's dominant 7.
also known as an E flat 7. You can just call it an E flat 7 or E flat dominant. And what inversion?
Oh, that's so much I didn't know. You moved it that way. The third inversion, since you're moving.
It's a little tricky to just know, but it's the second inversion.
It's 2. Dang, I knew that.
Yeah.
That one I knew because they were the middle ones were close together.
The middle ones, exactly. Yeah. So when the middle notes of inversion, let's see, if we move everything over here, this is the third inversion. The reason it's the third inversion is because we took 3 notes and moved them to the right. So it's like a matter of, to the right is like the direction that we have to go to in order for it to make sense. So basically, so this is root. This is first inversion. First inversion is taking the lowest note, moving it 1 octave higher. And then This is second inversion, what we were just playing, and then third inversion is that, and then back to root again. So that just takes a little bit of time as well to just get kind of comfortable with that spacing. But let's do, dang, it's 9:03. Let's do one more though. And who can tell me what chord this is? This is A flat, C, E flat, and G. And what's so nice about this? Go ahead.
Sorry. I be messing up the flow. My bad. But so when you play your low notes, you know, you're playing like the E flat to follow, right?
The root. Yeah. So playing the root. Yep.
So you were saying. So you're playing something like. Damn it. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, no problem. But I'm also adding a note. There you go. I'm adding an E to E flat, and then A to A flat, right?
Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. Now the next chord that you were talking. Sorry, when I hear you do it, and I'm like, I want to do that. So it's just like I try to figure it out by ear.
For sure. And I heard you play. Yeah, I heard you play that part. That's kind of what gives it that funky sort of sound. But yeah, so this chord here, both of you guys. So without doing the scale thing and without sort of maybe even counting and doing all that, like looking at this, right, which we have this normal spacing, and we also have I guess another telltale sign would be that the lowest note and the highest note are a half step away. That gives us an indication that this is probably a major 7, because we know that major 7s are a half step from the original, from the root. So that's the first thing that I would probably look at if I'm like, the spacing checks out, the 7 is a major 7, and it doesn't sound like that or like that or like that. It sounds like correct. So that tells me for sure that it's a major, that it's a G sharp major 7, because we learned that like the major triad with a minor 7, we learned already that's a dominant 7 chord. But if you had a minor triad with a major 7, you get this sounding thing that doesn't sound, that just sounds off, right? And that's not, I mean, what chord is that? Maybe we'll pick this up next week, because we can kind of investigate and see what chord this is. But it's not as nice sounding, right? It just changes the whole sound of it, just like this. So you guys' homework is to practice your 3-note chords to start inversions, and don't go ahead.
Sorry, he really doesn't move that much in this intro, does he? He doesn't move that much.
Yeah, correct.
Like he really don't. Hold on, cause you're saying it's like, hold on. Damn it. Fuck. I just fucking had that shit. That. Cause he doesn't move. Yeah. He doesn't move that much. Like
but
that's what that. Huh?
What ends up happening with this song is you got.
Yeah, that's when he goes stupid.
So each section is doing almost the same, or I think kind of the same exact thing, but it's just like it's actually transposing it a little bit is what's actually happening. Just I don't know how many steps. Yeah, but it's just transposing it down a few steps and then just continuing. All right, so yeah, inversions, and if you haven't already, I think go ahead and download Ultimate Guitar Tabs, and you know what? Look up any song that you guys like learning, like want to learn kind of thing, and type it in there and practice that as well. I think that's going to be like incredibly valuable and inspiring, because anytime you have a chance to like learn something that you like listening to anyway, it just makes the process just, I think, a lot more exciting. All right, any questions?
Oh, I'm getting that. I need that.
Cool, cool. All right, great job today, man. Yeah, I'm looking
I
forward to
feel like
continuing.
I feel like I low key just like accidentally played some shit that sounds like him, but it's not. Like it sounds pretty crazy, or it sounded cool like 2 seconds ago. If I can remember what I played, because no, this is the first chord. That's I don't think I played that. I don't know what I played, but I went from here to like yeah, that's what I did. Yeah,
That
that's what.
I think sounds like you
Is that
going
is it?
in the middle chord.
Yeah, I'm missing it, but I don't know. I don't think that's what I originally played, but it sounded cool, and then I tried to remember and I forgot.
No doubt. Gotcha. That's what it's about, man. Experimenting. Have a great one. Hope the wedding goes amazing. I can't wait to hear about it. And X, glad you had a chance to experience what you did yesterday. That you keep doing
Yes,
like some dope shit. I'm just excited for that you have that opportunity. And
yes, sir.
yeah, hit me up throughout the week if you guys have questions. But great job today, and I'll
I
see you
know.
guys.